It is a late Saturday night in July, and the Sixers just wrapped up their first Summer League action in Salt Lake City against the Utah Jazz. VJ Edgecombe, Ace Bailey, they battled it out. What a freaking game. We are going to break all of it down because VJ Edgecombe just put a lot of people on notice already. So we're going to talk about that, and we'll get into a couple of things that happened in the past few days, including the Sixers adding some more depth and Guerschon Yabusele responding to my tweet about his departure. We'll break it all down, but welcome in to Philly Take with RB. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Look, man, this is not like the official Summer League. We'll probably live stream some of that, but this is in Salt Lake City. I mean, the TV cameras suck. You can barely see anything, but talk about a treat of a game. The NBA knew what they were doing. Every year we get into this, and you know, we kind of overhype guys sometimes. That's what we do in July, right? Like, what else are we going to talk about? But VJ Edgecombe is the third pick in the draft. Now you have Ace Bailey, the fifth pick in the draft. This game had some hype, and VJ Edgecombe lived up to it. Are you kidding me? 30 minutes tonight, 28 points, 4 assists, 10 boards. He went 13 for 27 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3. 1 steal, 2 blocks, and 2 turnovers. And we'll get to the guy on the other side as well. But I want to start it off by just talking about my favorite thing from VJ Edgecombe tonight. And like I said, every year there's a guy or two where, you know, we're overhyping them in Summer League. But what I saw from VJ Edgecombe tonight was an absolute dog. My favorite thing about him tonight was he attacked every single possession. Now, granted, the Sixers didn't have a lot of premium guards on the floor tonight. I mean, a lot of guys were airballing and getting plucked and things like that. But VJ Edgecombe with the ball in his hands tonight looked very comfortable, and he went downhill and he attacked every single possession, even when his shot was not falling. He went out there knowing he was going against Ace Bailey and the Utah Jazz with all the surrounding conversation, and he said, I'm going to be that guy tonight, and I am going to have that killer mentality. And that is what we are buying into, and that is what I'm so excited to see. Now, look, is he going to play like this in the regular season? Probably not, because he has all these other ball handlers on the floor. And, you know, like I said, in the pre-draft process, I said he's a supercharged role player because he impacts the game in a multitude of ways. And he's going to have to continue to improve on that iffy handle. We saw it tonight, right? Like, he doesn't have a deep bag when it comes to his dribble arsenal. And even his catch and shoot was a little bit inconsistent tonight. He went 1 for 7 from deep, but I just loved his mentality. I mean, again, this is your Summer League debut. It's not like they had to push you or, you know, kick you into gear. I mean, if we look at the guy on the other side, Ace Bailey, he had a decent start to the game, but he did not finish off well. Matter of fact, he actually got benched in the fourth quarter early because he was shot chucking, right? 3 for 13 for Ace Bailey. He was a minus 12, 8 points on the night, 7 boards. Like I said, I thought he did some okay things, but VJ Edgecombe, on the other hand, was a plus 10, and he absolutely put the league on notice. One of the best Summer League debuts this year already, and he went downhill every time. There was a block on one end of Jaden Springer, of all people. He goes coast to coast. I thought VJ was crashing the boards well. I thought his point of attack defense was elite tonight, and I just thought that no matter where he was, this guy wanted to impact the game. Matter of fact, this is a Summer League game, and VJ Edgecombe is playing 100 miles per hour and talking smack at midcourt and diving for loose balls. That is a guy that I can buy into, and I'm so excited to watch this guy continue to grow. He was electric tonight, and like I said, Ace Bailey got outdueled, but at the same time, the Utah Jazz are playing their whole damn roster. It feels like that's their starters. Who we saw tonight, Bryce Sensabaugh was cooking, but who do the Jazz even have? It feels like they were playing their actual starting lineup tonight. So Ace was more of that off option, and he was sitting in the corner most of the game, and, you know, he was not one of the primary options, which is also what we expected when we thought about the idea of Ace Bailey. Here is VJ Edgecombe, and we're going to play it a little bit slow, but this was his electric dunk. One hand, he gets up and slams it down. I mean, I can get behind that. This looks very similar to his college shape. Like I say, he didn't have the ball in his hands a lot, but when he has that open space, he can get up. He is electric. Now, let's talk about a few other guys as well. I know all the spotlight's on VJ. I thought John A. Broome got worse as the game went on, but for a quarter or two, he was so locked in, especially on the defensive end. I thought he played an okay game, 4 for 11, 13 points, 5 boards. Like I said, he's going to struggle to have kind of an identity, whether it's a backup 4 or a backup 5, and he even passed up a 3 ball with the game on the line. Sixers lost, but this was neck and neck, down to the wire, and John A. Broome had a wide open 3 in the corner, passed it up to Justin Edwards, who then stepped out of bounds. And Edwards by far did not have his best night, but he just looks so comfortable, man. 13 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal. They don't even need to play Justin Edwards for the rest of Summer League. He was a steal from last year as an undrafted, and Tony Jones says you have to love how slow the game looks for Justin Edwards. He looks like a pro. He looks like a natural, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him getting a lot of minutes this upcoming season. Now, I also want to talk about this game because, again, it was just really a classic for a Summer League game. You had almost 3 scuffles back to back to back. These guys were grilling each other. You had Isaiah Collier, you had Keeve Aluma, you had everybody. VJ was talking smack. I mean, really, the game started late, and then we're taking time for official reviews and texts in a Summer League game? That's crazy. Now, one other guy I want to talk about tonight as we wrap this up was Adem Bona. Adem Bona dropped 16 points, 8 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Make of it what you will. He was getting Kyle Filipowski to bite. Those two were going at it. Great battle tonight. Both guys played really well. And Adem Bona, that little jab and drive, like you could tell he's been in the weight room. He has been working on his mechanics. Adem Bona, based on the sample size we got last year, in addition to how he already looked tonight, looks polished enough to be the backup 5 already. Am I overreacting? I don't think so. I think Adem Bona is another second-round gem, another second-round steal by Daryl Morey, and he needs to be the backup center. No offense to Andre Drummond, but this dude Bona can jump out of the gym. We talked about VJ Edgecombe's motor and competitiveness. Adem Bona does this every time he's on the floor. Came from humble beginnings. He wants to be here, and he wants to eat. I am excited for Adem Bona. All the spotlight will go to VJ, but Bona was fantastic tonight, and I wouldn't even play him again in another Summer League game. That's how ready he looked tonight. Other than that, a couple of the other ball handlers, like I said, we're just getting plucked a lot. Judah Mintz and, Jalen Hood-Schifino. I mean, that's what they are, right? They're G League players, and that's what we expect to see. So overall, a great Summer League debut. VJ Edgecombe absolutely stole the show. And I mean, if we continue to see him with the ball in his hands like this and he keeps attacking that way, who knows how quick he can get from point A to point B in terms of where we want to see him as a primary creator. His drive is insane. I love it. He played amazing tonight. Now, before we get out of here, a couple updates. Earlier today, we got a report from Kelly Eco. Says there has been little to no movement with restricted free agent guard Quentin Grimes and the Sixers. The two sides are hoping to continue communication in the coming days. And we'll tie that back to Guerschon Yabusele because Yabu was on an interview with SK Week TV, and he was talking about the Sixers offer in free agency a couple days ago. And he says, quote, "It was really, really low. Like, oh my gosh, you don't really want me to stay." Then, on top of that, everybody apparently switched on Guerschon Yabusele now that he went to the Knicks. And look, I don't think he was a perfect player by any means, and I'm mad that he went to the Knicks as well. But I'm not going to take back everything I said before. He still could have been a great power forward option for the Sixers. We still never really saw him play that much with Joel and PG, so we don't know how he would have fit in. But he played well, and unfortunately, things went downhill. But anyway, I reposted the video saying, this is exactly what I said. They told me I was crazy. The Sixers lowballed Yabusele, barely made him an offer. He wanted to come back and was essentially forced to leave. Brutal. Shout out to my guy, Harrison Grimm. This has nothing to do with Harrison, but he was one person that responded to me saying forced to leave is a bit strong wording of the situation. He wanted to secure his money. I don't fault him for that at all. It's clear where his priorities were. So then I said, if they completely lowball him, yeah, he has to leave. They could have offered him the same thing the Knicks did, and they did not. And Yabusele replied saying, finally, somebody with some sense. So Yabu confirms what I've been telling you all. You can continue to disagree with me and tell me I'm wrong, but Yabu just confirmed it as well. And it is an unfortunate situation. And if you want to really understand why the Sixers still could have signed Yabu, go to this article at Liberty Ballers where they talk about the financials. Everybody keeps saying, well, the Sixers would have been hard capped at the second apron if they gave him the tax MLE, which again was 5.7 mil. That was the magic number. I continued to harp on that, 5.7 mil, which is pretty much what he got from the New York Knicks. Again, they would have been hard capped at the 207.8 second apron. And as you can see here, it would have left them $22 million below the second apron after taking into account a couple other things. So no team is going to give Grimes $22 million. No other team has cap space to offer him that. The Nets were the only ones. They took in a bunch of money from Michael Porter Jr. Maybe it could still happen, and maybe that's why we're still waiting, and it feels like a really awkward situation. But the Sixers are probably offering Grimes the $14 million that he can only get by a team using the non-tax mid-level exception. So again, this is where it's at. The Sixers still could have paid Yabu the 5.7 and then signed Quentin Grimes because he's not getting more than 22 mil. Even if his agency says, hey, we want 25 million a year, doesn't mean the Sixers have to give it to him. And if any other team comes in and offers him, let's say 18, 19, 20 mil, the Sixers can match it because they have his RFA, his restricted free agent rights. So that's where we're at with this. There's a lot of misinformation out there. It's unfortunate the Sixers didn't bring Yabu back. I'm not going to lose any more sleep over it. I'm just telling you that the guy literally confirmed it himself. And you have Sixer fans out here who think that he's like the worst player ever now and that it would have completely screwed them up with Grimes, which is not completely true. But at the end of the day, the Sixers signed another player, Jabari Walker, to a two-way deal. And he played 3 seasons in Portland as a second-round pick back in 22. He's played in 188 games. And the consensus on Jabari Walker is that he's not supposed to be a two-way guy. Like, he's good enough to have a standard contract. Maybe he talked with the Sixers. They said, we need a power forward. We'll convert you eventually to a standard. But for now, we need to slide you into a two-way because we're going to re-sign Quentin Grimes. And Jabari Walker had the best on-off last season differential for the Portland Trailblazers. So this guy has pretty good numbers in a limited sample size. He is per 36 averages or 15 points, 10.1 boards, 1.8 assists, and 1.6 steals. And if we look at his numbers, when he had a bigger role in 2023-24, averaging 23.6 minutes per game, well, he averaged 8.9 points, 7.1 boards. He's a great defensive rebounder. Can this guy be the starting power forward? I don't know if I'm willing to go that far. Same way I feel about Trendon Watford, but this is a great depth piece. His 3-point percentage improved this year to almost 39%, even though it was on limited action. So at the end of the day, I think this is a great signing, and we'll see what they make of it. They still need a starting power forward. Paul George is not going to be that guy. People don't agree with me, but they need more rebounding. However, this guy brings rebounding and grit and toughness, and if they give him a bigger role, maybe he can build his way into that. So excited about Jabari Walker. We'll see what they do with the final couple spots. Obviously, Grimes will be one, but we will see how all of it plays out. Let me know what you think about this roster down below, and let me know what you think about VJ Edgecombe and his Sixers Summer League debut. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.